Well. It is 10 o'clock at night. I have showered, wet my hair, and I'm on my way to bed, but I have to be impeccable with my word. Summer school started today, and then I had some other things that I did. Today was a very successful day, business wise, but I must do this as well. So, being impeccable with my word, that's why you see the towel. I'm going to crop it. So, by the time you see it, you're going to see here and up. But I'm Tracy Lene. This is my channel where I read books and add my own commentary. I'm still in the Fifth Agreement. This is a really good book. It's a long book too. But let's get started. We're in the chapter 10, and we've already the 4 agreements. The first one being impeccable with your word. That's why I'm here even at 10 o'clock at night, because I said I would do this Monday through Friday, and so it is Monday. The second one is to not take anything personal. I'm not taking it personal if nobody listens. I'm doing it. I have one person, and I love Angel Studios for always being there and showing up for me. And then the third one is to not to make any assumptions. I'm not going to assume that people aren't listening because it's nothing that they want to hear. Maybe they just haven't found me yet. And the fourth one is I'm doing my best. And that's why I'm here at 10 o'clock at night, making sure I get this done. I won't read long, but I will read strong. The world is a force you cannot see, but you can see the manifestation of that force, the expression of the word, which is your own life. The way to measure the impeccability of your word is by your emotional reaction. Are you happy or are you suffering? If you're enjoying your dream or suffering your dream, it's because you're creating it in that way. Yes, your parents, your religion, the schools, the government, the entire society helps you to create your dream. And it's true that you never had a choice. But now you have a choice. You can create heaven or you can create hell. Remember, both are states of mind that exist within you. Do you like to be happy? Then be happy and enjoy your happiness. Do you like to suffer? Great. Then why not enjoy your suffering? If you choose to create hell, good for you. Cry, have pain, make a masterpiece of art with your pain. But if you have awareness, there is no way you're going to choose hell. You are going to choose heaven. And the way to choose heaven is by being impeccable with your word. If you're impeccable with your word, how can you judge yourself? How can you blame yourself? How can you carry guilt or shame? When you are not creating all those emotions, you feel wonderful. Now you smile again, and it's completely authentic. You don't have to pretend to be a certain way. You don't have to try to be what you are not. Whatever you are is what you will be in the moment. In that moment, you accept yourself just the way you are. You like yourself. You enjoy being with yourself. You no longer abuse yourself by using the symbols against yourself. Today was the first in many days where I allowed the day to flow. I listened to a man named Michael Singer. You might want to look him up. And one of the things that he talks about is how when we breathe, we inhale and we exhale. We don't even think about it. It just happens. It's automatic. And the reason it is because we accept that we don't have control over the breath. Well, what would happen if you accepted you have no control over the day and you just were aware of every moment of the day and enjoying it? If you got quiet enough, if you observed enough, your inner self would tell you when to act, when to react. But instead, our egos just want to be in control of everything. So we just do the things that we feel we should do because we just want to be in control. I spent today not being in control, and today went really well. Today was a great success for me on my business level, on my professional level, on a personal level. Everything just flowed right along. And that's why I meant that I was going to read this, but I needed to take a shower first because I came in and I wasn't able to walk outside. So I got on the treadmill, and the room that our treadmill is in can get really steamy. So I was funky. I decided to take a shower and then read. Okay, where was I at? If you're impeccable with your word, how can you judge yourself? How can you blame yourself? How can you carry guilt or shame? When you are not creating all those emotions, you feel wonderful. Now you smile again, and it's completely authentic. I already read that, but it must mean I need to read it again. You don't have to pretend to be a certain way. You don't have to try to be who you are not. Whatever you are is what you will be in the moment. In that moment, you accept yourself just the way you are. I experienced that today, and I'm quite wonderful. You like yourself. You enjoy being with yourself. You no longer abuse yourself by using the symbols against yourself. That is why I have to repeat. That's why I had to repeat that sentence. That is why I have to repeat. It is so important to be aware. The tyranny of the symbols is extremely powerful. In the dream of the second attention, the warrior tries to find out how the symbols took power over the human. The whole war of the warriors against the symbols, against our own creation. And it's not because we hate the symbols. The symbols are a masterful creation. They're our art, and it's convenient for us to use all these symbols to communicate. But when we give all our power to those symbols, we become powerless, and we need to be rescued. We need a savior because we don't have the power to make it on our own. Then we look outside ourselves and say, "Oh God, please save me." But it's not up to God, Jesus, or Buddha, Moses, or Muhammad, or any other master or shaman or guru to save us. I read this yesterday, but it must need to be read again. I read it on Friday, but I'm reading it again. We can't blame them if they don't save us. Nobody can save us because nobody else is responsible for whatever is happening in our virtual world. The priest, the minister, the rabbi, the shaman, or the guru cannot change our world. Our husband or our wife, our children or our friends cannot change it. No one else can change our world because that world only lives in our head. Many people say that Jesus died for us to save us from our sins. Well, it's a wonderful story, but Jesus doesn't make the choices in our lives. Instead of saving us, Jesus told us what to do. You need help? Okay, you need to follow the truth. You need to forgive, love one another. He gave us all the tools, but we say, no, I cannot forgive. I prefer to live with my emotional poison, with my pride, with my anger, and my jealousy. If we are fighting with the people we love, if we are creating a lot of resistance around us, remember, we live in a world of consequences. We have to let go of that first. We have to forgive because forgiveness is the only way to clear our emotional body of emotional poison. All of us have emotional poison because all of us have emotional wounds. It happens. Just as it's normal for our body to hurt when we have a cut or when we fall and break a bone, it's normal for the emotional body to hurt because we are alive, because we are surrounded by predators, and we are predators also. Nobody wants to realize that you're the villain in somebody else's story too. Just like people are the villain in yours, you're the villain in somebody else's story. And if you don't know that, then you're very delusional and you probably are narcissistic, have narcissistic qualities. If you think, I'm not the villain in anybody's story. But there's no one to blame. It's just the way it is. If we blame, it is our emotional poison that makes us blame. Instead of blaming, we can take responsibility for our own healing. I did that a few years ago, took responsibility for my own healing. I took back my heart from people who decided that my heart wasn't worthy of them respecting it. Like when you have children, if you have children and they have a toy and they start to abuse that toy, you take that toy away from them, don't you? You say, you're not ready for this toy. I'll give it back to you when you prove that you can handle this. That's the same way it is with your heart. Take your heart from people who are not handling it. First of all, stop giving people your heart. That's number one. Stop making people responsible for your life. You are responsible for your life. People can be in your life and love you and respect you and honor you with you doing that first. But don't give people your heart. Keep your heart for yourself and let other people experience that greatness that you are. But don't give it off to them and think, well, I gave you my heart and look what you did to it. Well, they're damaged. And so that's like me. I have a 4-year-old grandson. That's like me giving my 4-year-old grandson all the money in my bank account and saying, you just walk around with it. Well, he ain't gonna get far. But anyway, let's just say I had lots of money and I gave him all that money. That's like me just saying, here, take all this money. And then when he just throws it around or goes outside and plays with it or just drops it or pushes it in the toilet or does whatever he does because he's 4 and it's just money. You know, he doesn't really know what it means to have money like that. That's what it is. We're all just emotionally damaged people. So you're giving your emotionally damaged heart to another emotionally damaged person so they can heal, and they can't heal you. They got to heal themselves. If you're waiting for someone to come and save you, well, you have to save yourself. You are your own savior, but there are teachers who give you the tools to help recover your awareness and win your personal war. There are so many tools that we can use to save ourselves, but you still have to do all of the work. Ain't nobody coming to save you. The transatlantic slave trade didn't end because Jesus fell from the sky. It ended when people said, this is the fucking enough. Now, speaking of which, I want to just veer off for a second to talk about this because I see a lot of times where people say, well, Africans sold black people into slavery. Their own people sold them into slavery. And let's go with that's true. Let's say that they did do that because in many cases they did. So you're telling me that because they sold us into slavery, my ancestors into slavery, that it was permission for us to be raped, beaten, burned, just beat with whips on our back, all of that because they sold us into slavery. You're saying that the people who did that, it's okay that they did all those things, because your people sold you into slavery. So no matter what savagery happened after that, it's still their fault for selling you into slavery. The people who did that, do they not have any responsibility for being savages like that, for being animals and taking human beings? There would be times they would dig a hole in the ground and put a pregnant woman down in there so that her belly is in the ground so they could beat her back and leave all those scars on it. They would take a man and tie him to one horse, his hands and his legs to another, and rip him apart. So because our ancestors sold us into slavery, we deserved all of that. The people who did that, they don't have any responsibility. That's like saying, yeah, she had on a miniskirt, so he should have raped her and put bottles in her and burned her and did all kind of nasty things to her because she had that miniskirt on. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same concept. Yes, Africans sold other Africans into slavery because every continent did that, where they had people who worked for them. But they had no idea of the atrocities that the people who brought us were capable of. So that's what we need to deal with. How are you capable to take a human being's baby from off of her breast and put your baby on her breast and put her baby out in the field to work at 2 and 3 years old, or sell her child from her? So because my ancestors sold my ancestors to you, you felt that you had the right to then abuse, to the atrocities that we experience in the transatlantic slave trade. And the only thing that I hear Caucasian people say is, well, your people sold y'all, so then it's okay. It's okay. So the next time a woman gets raped and she has on anything less than a burqa, we'll say, well, you had on that miniskirt, so of course he raped you. The next time somebody is drunk and they get raped, don't say, oh, well, she couldn't consent. Say, oh, well, she was drunk. So, it is what it is. What I'm trying to say, and I veered off to this because it was weighing heavy on me when I saw a post when a man was saying, oh, they're not ready to talk about that. Their own people sold them into slavery. Let's go what they did. Now, the truth of the matter is they had no idea what they were getting into. Now, they're not innocent, and that's why Africa is suffering the way Africa is suffering. It's a karmic effect from taking people and selling them to savages. I won't even call them people, because the chain people together and to not let them be able to go to the bathroom, but to have to sit in their own defecation, in their own urine on a boat for 9 months to get to the new world, and then have them build the new world while you rape their women and rape their men, while you rape their children, while you beat their children in front of them, kill their children in front of them, cut off body parts and eat them. All of this stuff happened. And you're saying, oh, well, it wouldn't have happened if they wouldn't have sold you into slavery. Well, you couldn't be a little bit humane? So you're telling me that our being, and I know that some people may just turn off the channel, and that's really okay, because I'm speaking from my heart and what God is putting on it, and I'm just going to be Tracy. And that's it. I don't really care. Maybe I'm talking to myself and I'm reading this book and I'm being impeccable with my word. And my word says that the fact that your only comeback is, well, your people sold you. You're not dealing with the things, not to mention your ancestors worked and earned money for 400 years and got to put that money into businesses for 400 years to get a 400-year head start. And you tell me I don't deserve reparations? My ancestors built the country, but I don't deserve the money, because then you'll say, well, other people built it too. No, sorry. We, the people who look like me from the African diaspora, built this country. Yes, we did. And not only did we build this country, you came to get us because we were builders. We were carpenters and masoners. And you knew that we could do it because we had did it before. The civilization began there. You knew we had all of the minerals and the materials. So you just raped Africa dry. You raped Africa so much you ran a train on Africa. That's what you did. And I'm not angry. Oh, you're such an angry, bitter black woman. No. Whenever somebody can't get to you, they go with the negative. Or you're just bitter, or you're just angry. No. So yes, my people did sell us into slavery because they thought that it was going to be like when they did it, where you still fed the people. You didn't rape them and beat them and treat them like animals. You didn't tell them they were 3/5 of a human being. You didn't take their women at night. You didn't come to somebody's little hut and take his wife out the hut and rape her as many times as you want, give it to your sons. They didn't do that. But because our people sold us, you're justifying all of that savagery? No, sir. It doesn't happen. But let me get back to reading this book. The person who wrote that comment ain't going to never see it, my comeback, because I didn't even put it on there, because I'm also listening to Michael Singer. I didn't have to say that there. This was the time I was supposed to say it on my platform. Take it or let it alone. Okay. Let's say you're a good artist, but then a master artist comes along and says, I like you. I want you to become my apprentice. Come, I will teach you. The first and foremost tool for you to become a master artist is to be impeccable with your word. It is something so simple. You write your own story, and you don't want to write the story against yourself. Second, don't take anything personally. That will help you a lot. Most of the drama goes away from you if you just agree with that. Third, don't make any assumptions. Don't create your own hell. Stop believing in superstition and lies. And fourth, always do your best. If a black cat cross your path, that does not mean you won't have bad luck. If you drop a mirror off the wall, that's not 7 years of bad luck. That means you lost that mirror time to get you another one. And the fourth, always do your best. Take action. Practice makes the master. Very simple. Then the moment comes when you start to see your whole creation from another point of view. You start to realize that you are the artistic creator of your life. You are the one who creates the canvas, the paint, the paintbrush, and the art. You are the one who gives meaning to every stroke on the canvas of your life. You are the one who invests all your faith in your art, and you say, the story I'm creating is beautiful, but I don't believe it anymore. I don't believe my story or anybody else's story. I can see that it's just art. Great. That's the fifth agreement. Come back to common sense, to the truth, to the real you. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. And this book ties in with the next book I'm going to read after the Marianne Williamson, The Untethered Soul, where you just let things be. Don't attach to them. I know it's difficult, but it's doable. It's difficult because we live in a world of ego and illusion. But when you let go of ego and illusion, it's not that difficult to just don't attach to anything. Just say, yes, I have a beautiful life. Yes, I have money. I have a beautiful family. I'm not attached to it. I'm experiencing it. Because if one day I don't have money or one day I don't have this beautiful family, then what? And it's something we have to realize. Everybody's going to have sorrow. Everybody's going to have problems. Life is one big old problem just waiting to be solved. And the dream of the second intention, you need tools to win the war and to change your world. And that's what the agreements are all about. These are the tools for transforming your dreams, for mastering your dreams. And it's up to you what you do with these tools. These 5 simple agreements have the power to plant a seed of doubt in all those limiting, fear-based agreements you made your whole life. The only chance you have to unlearn the lies in your knowledge is the use of attention. You use the attention to put your first dream together, and you use the attention to unlearn the dream. That dream. The 4 agreements are the tools for using your attention a second time to create your personal heaven. And the 5th agreement is the tool to win the war against the tyranny of the symbols. The 4 agreements are tools for your personal transformation. The 5th agreement is the end of personal transformation and the beginning of giving yourself the greatest gift that you can give yourself, the gift of doubt. And we look at doubt, we think in the negative way, but just recognizing today, it's this way. Tomorrow it could be another way. I'm just going to enjoy today. We have said that it was doubt that made us fall out of paradise. Well, coming back to paradise is once again about doubt. Doubt is the tool we use to recover our faith, to take our power back from every lie and superstition we believe in, and return that power to ourselves. Of course, we can also use the power of doubt against ourselves, by doubting the truth. In the story of Adam and Eve, when we doubt that we were God, that doubt opens the door to another doubt, and then another and another. When we doubt the truth, we start to believe in lies. So soon we believe so many lies that we no longer see the truth, and we fall from the dream of heaven. And that's where all of us are now. We have fallen so far from the dream of heaven. We're just a bunch of Judge Judys and Judge Mathises. Doubt is a great creation we made for going into hell or getting out of hell. Either way, doubt opens the door to be possessed by symbols, or doubt closes the door to stop the possession. If we doubt ourselves, if we doubt the truth, the whole tree of knowledge, all the mythology that controlled our attention our entire lives starts coming back to us. The voice of knowledge starts possessing us again, and we begin to feel the anger, the jealousy, the injustice that comes with all the symbols, with all the assumptions, with all that thinking. Then instead of doubting yourself, have faith in yourself. Instead of doubting the truth, doubt the lies. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. One of the things that I recognized today as I was going through today, not attaching to anything and just enjoying every moment. And when thoughts came up from the past of things that I've heard, I just said, that's an interesting thought, but I choose not to think it anymore. That's not happening now. And the thought would be like, huh? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? And I just say it again. And then the thought would just disappear. And if it tried to sneak in another way through another little way and say it a different way, I'd say, that's also interesting. I just want to be happy. I just want to be free. That's all. I don't want to remember that. Felt really good. I had a really good day. And I'm not attached to that. Tomorrow may not be a good day. Who knows? It'll be what it's going to be. But I'm going to be there for it. And if it's the day I take my last breath, then at least my family got these videos to look back on me and say, wow, she was da-da-da. But I'm not attaching to that either. Instead of doubting yourself, have faith in yourself. Instead of doubting the truth, doubt the lies. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. The fifth agreement opens the door to heaven, and the rest is up to you. This agreement is about bringing in heaven and heaven being in you. It's about letting go of your attachments to symbols, even your own name, and merging with the infinite to become authentic, to believe in yourself without a doubt, because even a little doubt can end the experience of heaven. When you have faith in yourself, you follow every instinct that you were born with. You have no doubt about what you are, and you return to common sense. You have all the power of your authenticity. You trust yourself. You trust life. You trust that everything is going to be just fine, and life becomes extremely easy. The mind no longer needs to understand everything. It doesn't need to know. You know something or you don't know it, but you don't have to doubt it if you know or not. If you don't know, you accept that you don't know. You're not going to make it up. That's what you do. I do that with my children. If I don't know something, I go, I don't know. I'm not going to make it up. Don't make up stuff. That people, I know people like that. They have to be right no matter what. And when you have to be right no matter what, you're really broken in a lot of other spaces. And people, unfortunately, don't know how to get out of that. But now that I don't have to be right, I can be wrong about everything and still be a right person. See, I can be wrong and admit I'm wrong and then learn. And then I'm not wrong anymore. When you are completely authentic, you speak the truth to yourself without any doubt. I like it. I don't like it. I want it. I don't want it. You don't have to do what you don't like to do. You enjoy your life doing exactly what you like to do. And if for right now you're working at a job you don't like, learn to like it. Find something about that job and learn to like it until you can get to a job that you like. We make life difficult when we try to sacrifice ourselves for somebody else. Surely you're not here to sacrifice for anyone. And you are not here to satisfy other people's opinions or points of view. In the dream of the second attention, one of the first challenges is the fear of being yourself, your real self. If you have the courage to face this challenge, you find out that all the reasons you were afraid don't even exist. I really like clothes. I like fashion. I like things that not only cost a little bit more than I have money for right now, they last long, and I'm eclectic. But I stopped being that for many, many years because I was in a religion that said I should dress a certain way, and I did that. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with that. I was happy with a lot of the parts of the religion, but I wasn't happy with the dress. But I said, oh, God wants me dressed like this. And then one day I was laying in the bed thinking about what I was wearing, and because I was going somewhere and contemplating, I got to wear this alone. God, it's hot outside. And finally I said, God doesn't care. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I know that many people say, oh no, God does care. God likes modest women. And their God does like modest women. So either stop worrying about their God and get your own God, because you can do that. At least I believe you can. I could be wrong, but I'm not. You can have your own version of God. I don't think that if you really have your own version of God, you're not going to be robbing, stealing, and doing all kind of foolishness to hurt other people, because God doesn't hurt other people. What is it hurting a woman? I had to say this. The other day I saw this woman outside and I could see her booty. What is me seeing her booty hurting me? It's not. I just see her booty. I could just look away from her booty. But she likes to have her booty out. You'll say, oh, she's insecure. I don't know. I don't know if she is or she isn't. I didn't care. And that felt really good. I didn't care. Well, I'm going to stop reading for today because I want to stop right there with you're not needing to sacrifice for anybody else and trying to be you, because you're the only person that's not taken inside of you. You need to be you. This is the fifth agreement, and I will be back tomorrow. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Thank you so very, very much for your time. Thank you for listening. I didn't mean to offend anybody. When I was speaking about the transatlantic slave trade, it is in my DNA. Yes, it was 400 years ago and we can't live in the past, but I certainly have to remove the traumatic memories that do come up, because I believe I've been here more than once, and so I was a slave at some point. My soul traveled through that journey, and I didn't heal everything, but this is the lifetime. God damn it, I'm healing as much as I can, as best as I can, by letting go. Michael Singer is a good resource, a good tool for you to use. I also like to tap, and you can look up EFT, emotional freedom technique. You can also look up Colin Tippin, and that's radical forgiveness, where you really just realize nothing bad really even happened. It just was there because it was there. When I tell you how good I feel when I looked at some situations in my life and said, it happened. It is what it is. I ain't holding on to that. Today was a good day. Financially, yeah, I did the thing today with my business. I Instacarted and did some good things. I was at school earlier, so I got to help children as I'm teaching science, and that felt good. Today was just a really good day, and I'm just going to treasure it for now. I'm going to go to bed. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but if I see tomorrow, I'll see you. Have an amazing one. Bye, y'all.